Hello everybody, this is DKG's Avos. After a riveting battle, we're back for some more. This is possibly the last match of the night. It just kind of depends on how quickly or slowly it goes, but it is getting high time to end the stream. So, I hope everybody has a good time. Whew. Been some crazy battles tonight. Alright, so we've got Goodra in here, which is a special defensive Pokemon up against a Fairy-type Pokemon. Goodra is usually special attacking, has Flamethrower, which is non-stab. T-Wave doesn't affect it nearly as much, just because it's already pretty slow, so I'm going for Swagger, which is going to help out on the switch as well. So, seeing that Marshtomp was in there, Ground-type Pokemon, it was a good switch, but knowing that Paralysis wasn't exactly the best way to go, got rid of it. So Lumberry does cure the confusion there. He's going to have to hit us once with something, because we've got the air balloon up, so I'm not worried about Earthquake yet. I'm not worried about any ground moves just yet. Not yet. So he has to hit us with something before we have to worry about that, but you can see how much damage he did to himself with that, so we can try and chance it with one more Swagger and try and raise his attack a little bit more, but I really don't want to put myself in a risky position taking that much damage from a neutral water attack. So I'm just going to go for Foul Play straight off, try and take advantage of the fact that I raised his attack 2 stages, try and deal with it. If he gets some confused damage in here, we're going to be perfectly okay, but it looks like Scald's going to come in here. Pop our water balloon. It became a water balloon because he filled it with water. That was... Alright, the joke was terrible, but... Joke still stands. Joke still stands. So, Marshtomp possibly going to switch out here, but I'm not sure. If you save Marshtomp for later, he's kind of slow. I mean, he's slower than our unspeeded Klefki, so he's pretty slow. So if he stays in here, it's probably going to be for death fodder later, not necessarily for trying to stay in. But based on the fact that it's taking a while, oh no. Usually when your opponent takes that long, probably going to consider switching or going to switch. Usually it's going to be a switch. But at this point, Klefki's coming out on top, so we're good. Klefki has taken out one Pokemon. Go Klefki! Yay! Klefki's really dangerous. There are a lot of people out there that are running dual screen Klefkis, and they do alarm me a little bit. Now, we've taken off a decent chunk of HP on Klefki, but I'm going to go for the Swagger, try and get some confused damage in. It raises the attack, so we don't have to worry about that too much, but we also have Play Rough. So if we can survive this Flamethrower, which we probably can't, but we do. We know that he's special defensive bulky. I really don't want to throw away Klefki that early, but the problem is that most of the Pokemon that I've got, I mean, except for Walrein, don't really have a physical way of dealing with Goodra. Ah, man. Flamethrower breaks through confusion. Disappointing luck there. It is what it is. I didn't want to switch into Walrein. I really didn't. But it looks like that's going to be our current only choice. Alright, so Ice Fang is possible on Walrein. I don't know if Goodra is really going to want to stick around for that. They're going to have to go for something that's going to force the switch on Walrein. I'm going to start out with Hail just to try and get some HP back every turn. I don't have the Icy Rock on him, so it is only going to last 5 turns. I've got lefties, but he's got the Ice Body, so it's going to help out a little bit. We'll take it. Unfortunately, we did lose Klefki, so there's a little bit of a joke going on with Klefki's sweep, but Klefki is not going to sweep. Now we've got... I don't know what any of these names are going to be. Alright, so we're going to have to wait and see which Charizard this is before we start worrying too much. Neutral damage from Charizard. I don't know. I don't know if I'm worried yet. I don't know if I'm worried. It is Charizard Y. Alright, so Solar Beam's coming out. We are worried. We're worried. We're super worried. We lost our Hail. I liked Hail. Hail was fun. Now, had we predicted that, we would have been alright, but unfortunately, I was expecting Charizard X for all the reasons that I mentioned earlier. It does add a weakness to the rest of the team, but you know what? It is what it is. Walrein survived that pretty well, so we're going to try and keep him alive as best as possible. So now we got to switch into something else, and it's not a great switch, but it's a keep things alive switch. So now we've got Charizard going for Solar Beam. Solar Beam's not going to help out too much. Typhlosion's going to resist that pretty well. And we've got Focus Blast, which isn't going to do too much, and we've got Swift, which isn't going to do a crazy amount either. But we're going to take a chance here. I'm not going to go for Flamethrower. I'm going to go for Focus Blast. We're going to see what it's going to do. At least it's going to hit. I'm not going to do that much against Goodra. Goodra's really special defensive bulky. Looks like it's got leftovers. Super special defensive wall Goodra is going to be something that's like Assault Vest. Assault Vest Goodra is crazy. That's scary. You want scary Assault Vest Goodra. Alright, Flamethrower is a viable choice here. We also got Dragon Pulse. We've lost Klefki. Unfortunate. I didn't paralyze Goodra, which I'm kind of regretting now, but it is what it is. Alright, Typhlosion has to stay alive for a little bit longer. We gotta try and scare this out a little bit. Try and get something else going. That was a critical, too. Oh, man. Alright, so how do we want to roll this? If we go against Charizard Y, Mega Venusaur is a bit of an issue. Goodra's probably going to go for Flamethrower, just because it can. I don't imagine that it's going to switch, just based on the fact that it is sunny out. So, with the sunny day up, or drought in effect, whichever you want to put it as, with drought in effect, Flamethrower is going to be more viable against Walrein, even though he's a special defensive wall. You're either switching in, taking free damage, or doing damage and trying to absorb as much as possible. I really imagine that Goodra's probably just going to go for Flamethrower. It's going to be neutral damage, but it's going to be T-Bolt. We're going to go for Ice Fang. I doubt that we're going to get Freeze Hacks or anything else like that, but it's going to do a decent chunk of damage. Sunlight does fade away. I don't know if we're going to take another T-Bolt like that. I don't think we got enough HP for that. I don't think we do. We're going to try it, though. We're going to go for it. Going for it. It's alright. Goodra takes him out, but yeah. Alright. This is a little bit of a risky move. We know that Goodra's got Flamethrower. We know that there's Charizard Y. We know that he could switch, and we know that Goodra is a special defensive bulky Pokemon. We're going into Venusaur to try and get that Mega Evolution up, before Charizard Y comes out. That's really it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to get the Mega Evolution up before Charizard Y comes back out. We won't scare Goodra out by any means, unless we get, like, some sort of poison and then we can kill it. That would be ideal, getting some sort of poison on, but I really don't think Goodra is going to be scared out at this point. It's so low on HP. Oh, but it is. Interesting. Frostmourne hungers. Oh, that's so funny. Anybody that hasn't ever played World of Warcraft or Warcraft 3, Frostmourne was the big bad blade. Big bad blade that was really scary for everybody. Alright, so I know that we're not going to be able to do anything with Mega Venusaur at this point. So we're going to see Swords Dance come out. Shadow Sneak, a good possibility. Frostmourne indeed does hunger. We have to worry about it. But we've got Fire Blast on our side. And he's usually crazy slow. So it looks like he's going to go for... Oh, man. Looks like Iron Head, then. I'm a little surprised. Oh, Sacred Sword. More surprised by Sacred Sword. A lot of people aren't running Sacred Sword because it's not a stab move. There's a Shadow Sneak to finish him off. Really nicely done. A lot of people aren't running with that, because it's a fighting move, so you don't get a whole lot out of it. Best idea there probably would have been to switch into Crawdaunt, but I was actually surprised so much by Sacred Sword that didn't even occur to me. Alright, Frostmourne. What's up, buddy? Now, if he's just going to try and go for Shadow Sneak, we're going to take a Keen Shield, decrease our attack. If he was going for Shadow Sneak, that's why we went for Aqua Jet. That's why we did it. It's okay. Because we would have had to worry about that. Now we're going for Knockoff, which is going to do super effective damage, take it out. Now we've reduced our attack stat just a little bit, which is unfortunate, but it is something that we're going to have to live with. We're a little bit on the back foot at this point, because I think it's like 3-3 or 3-3.5. We've lost some of our bulk, so we got to worry about that. And then Drought's coming in. If we can outlast Drought, though. If we can outlast Drought, then we can bring Crawdaunt back out. That Aqua Jet doesn't do as much damage with Drought up. And again, we're switching in here just to try and take that Solar Beam, try and do something about it. That was probably the best move that he could have gone for. Now we got some issues here. There's not a really good decision to make here. Focus Blast might have been better, but we've had such bad luck in this game with it that I'm just not going for it. I'm not feeling it. I'm going for Flamethrower. It's not going to do much, but it's going to do something. Flamethrower, Battle of the Ages. And again, the biggest thing here is that we're trying to absorb as much of Drought as possible. That's the biggest thing with Typhlosion. We're going to outspeed, we're going to do a little bit of damage, but we're trying to take up as much of Drought as possible because this Charizard Y with Drought is a big threat. We are on the back foot still. Mega Venusaur is going to have to try and dig us out of a hole. But Crawdaunt can't do that much with Sunny Day up. Typhlosion did some work, though. Typhlosion might have done enough work. We might be able to take this now. It's a little bit rough, but come on, Crawdont. You know you want this. Now, this is, again, a max HP, max defense Crawdont, so there's nothing in attack. Well, there's 4 in attack. 4. 4 in attack. 4 EVs, 4 whole EVs in attack. And you just gotta deal with it. So it looks like we're going to be able to finish this off with Aqua Jet as well. Oh, wow. I thought we were going to get it. Apparently not. That's crazy. That did nothing. Alright, Crawdont, you gotta live to see another day. We gotta keep you alive, buddy. Yikes. I was expecting a lot more out of that than like 3 HP. 3 HP was not what I was expecting in the mental damage check. Alright, Mega Venusaur, help us dig ourselves out of a hole. We do still have Crawdont alive. Crawdont is going to be helpful at some point. I don't want to use a grass move against Goodra just because there's the potential for Sap Sipper, so I have to go for a poison move. Without the Sun Up, Flamethrower is not nearly as effective. We get rid of Goodra. We're at half HP though, so as long as we can survive a shot that would 3-ko instead of 2-ko, we should be okay. There's not a whole lot that really OHKOs. Frog Fuchsius! Frog Fuchsius is another video game reference. If you guys have ever played Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, Extrasensory, an awesome move. That will 2-ko. Extrasensory on a Greninja. Highly, highly suggested. Now we could have predicted that, gone into Crawdont, trying to get something done, but unfortunately that wasn't happening. It's not often that you run into a Greninja that's going to run Extrasensory. I think it should happen more often than it does. And it looks like this is a little bit of a decision. Can Greninja take an Aqua Jet to the face or not? The answer should be yes. Nicely done. Alright, so now he's going to outspeed us and do another, looks like Scald. I can't go for Aqua Jet. I have to just assume that Crawdont's going to stay alive. Go for the knockoff, try and get the OHKO, or the 2-ko, I guess. Get the knockoff, good to go. Expert Belt. Gengar. Gengar wins this speed race. All we've got is Aqua Jet. We can't go with knockoff at this point with 6 HP. That's GG. GG. Had we predicted the Extrasensory, kept Crawdont in, then we could have brought Venusaur in and possibly had a different outcome, but the answer is probably no. No matter what. Gengar with Sludge Bomb would have been doing neutral damage against Mega Venusaur, and Mega Venusaur is pretty good, but if that was a Life Orb Gengar, the answer is no. Wouldn't have changed. But it was close. Great battle.